and well, overall an updated. That's a truck. Alright, it's time to update the movie config and give you guys some tutorials. I still get like a ton of messages asking for when is the tutorial part 3 is gonna come, blah 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 blah, but there was no way, I didn't have time. Now I'm actually taking the time to make this happen, so hopefully you'll like it. This will be like a 5-part thing. First, part 1, we're gonna start out with my config, how I use that, my in-game settings, and what type of softwares you need to capture your demos in my way. And disclaimer, like there's a million ways to capture demos. I'm only gonna go through one, and that's using Shadowplay. I used to use Fraps before, but Fraps is so unstable now, so I only use Shadowplay. It's this super easy way to do it, and so if you don't have a GeForce or NVIDIA card, I don't think this tutorial will help you, but maybe a little. I'm sure the ATI cards also have some kind of way to record what's going on the screen. But enough about that. This is Shadowplay, NVIDIA. Let's get into the first tutorial, my config and settings. Alright, here we go. Step 1. Make sure you have HLAE installed, the latest version. If not, you go to advancedeffects.org/download and you download the latest version that you can find here. So you click this, you get the zip file, unzip it and run it. You also need to have the GeForce experience installed. This is for Shadowplay, as you can see right here. So make sure you have the latest version of that as well. Install it. I'm sure you all know how Shadowplay works by now. It's been out for years, and many of you use it to capture highlights and stuff in different games. Once you have HLAE and the GeForce experience installed, it is time to take a look at the settings. So what I will do is open the GeForce experience. There we go. Now I'm using that to record this actually, so this might not work. Let's hope. Yeah. So you open the GeForce experience and then you go to the in-game overlay tab and go to settings and recordings, and then you choose a directory for where your files are going to be saved. Make sure you have put them in a folder that has some like good space. You have a lot of space available for the recordings. I have a hard drive that's dedicated to Shadowplay and stuff, so let's see here. Then you go into the video capture thing and you make sure you put your settings on custom, and then you make sure you're on 60 FPS and you use the same resolution as the game. I turn my bitrate up to the maximum to get the best quality, and that seems to work for me and everyone else, so go for this. These are the settings you want, and that's about it. Okay, now we're gonna launch HLAE, and this is what it looks like. And then you go to File, and then you launch CSGO. Make sure you have your csgo.exe file in this tab here, otherwise you can't launch it. And if you feel like you want some custom resolution, kind of like this one, which I've used for a couple of clips here and there, that's just so I can get a more widescreen kind of resolution. But for now we're gonna not enable that, and we're gonna go full HD, 1920 by 1080. Launch. We'll click launch. There we go. We are now in CSGO, and now we're gonna take a look at the video settings, which I use for capturing demos. Ignore my rank. I promise I'm way better. Or am I? Alright, so starting off at the top, Video aspect ratio 16:9, obviously, because we want the full HD resolution, 1920 1080. Eye capture in window mode. Sure, you can capture in full screen as well, but window is faster to get out into Windows once your recording is done if you want to take a look at it and stuff like that. And then every setting is on the highest possible, so global shadow quality on high, texture detail high, effect detail on high, shader detail very high, multi-core rendering obviously enabled, multi-sampling, anti-aliasing mode 8x, FXAA enabled, and texture filtering on 16x, VSync off, motion blur disabled. And those are the settings to get the highest possible quality in game. You can also run CSGO in a higher resolution if you want to, but this is like the standard, the default setting for videos. Next, we're going to take a look at my movie config. This is the config I use, and it looks a little something like this. I'm going to put a link in the description to my config so you can use it as well. One thing that's worth mentioning straight away is that the commands, this one, post-process enable, will, even if you exec your config at the beginning when you open CSGO, this will be set to 1. So whenever you launch a demo, you need to make sure you have this set to 0 when you get into the demo and you start messing around in it. The same goes for this command. MP display kill assists. Since the panorama update got launched, this will also be set to 1 when you start to play your demo. So make sure you have this one on 0 as well once you're in your demo and you want to capture your highlights. So kill assist 0 and post process 0. Those are the things that's like most important. The rest of my stuff in this config will always be saved. So this is a read-only file, but these two commands for some reason reset every time. So make sure you put them to 0. If you have all of these steps in order, you should now be good and ready to capture your demo. But we're gonna end the first episode of the tutorial here, so thank you guys for watching, and leave a like on the video, it really helps me, and stay tuned for part 2. I can feel it.